We are the Morning Hustle.
What's good, baby? It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and Kyle Santillian. And yes, we have another amazing guest hanging out with us today. Listen, Black Girl Magic is all throughout the studio today. Miss Dominique Thorne is here.
Hello.
We want to throw the bell in the air. We want to send you all the love.
That's right. Listen,
Brooklyn's in the building real quick.
Yes, we are.
Brooklyn's
Big
in the
Brooklyn.
building. I just want to say
that off. Gotta let y'all get that off.
Thank you. Okay.
And look, congratulations on everything that you got going on, man. We know that you're here today to talk about Ironheart series that's coming out.
Yes.
But I feel like, you know what I mean, the career that you've been building for yourself is fire. You know what I mean? Bill Street. You know what I'm talking about? Judas and the Black Messiah. You know what I mean? And here you are again playing another strong character in Ironheart. So, man, you off and running.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah,
I
for
appreciate
sure.
that.
Absolutely.
I really do. Thank you.
So let's talk about Ironheart, man. This is one of those, the next installment from the Marvel's cinema. You know what I mean? And it's got to feel good for you to be the starring role in this particular series. Yes?
Yeah. I mean, it does feel good to know, okay, the work that you've been putting in is going somewhere. You know, for them to give me that call and say, hey, like, we actually want you to do this is absolutely an affirmation. Like, oh, like, y'all been seeing me?
I know that's right.
You know?
Right.
So it feels nice to get the challenge of taking on a bigger role.
Yeah.
Well, I love this, and I feel like I needed this. Reason being why I'm not really, I'm just going to be honest with you.
Please
I'm not
do.
the biggest Marvel fan.
Bro.
You know, I like comedies and stuff like that. But I could relate to seeing somebody like you in a Marvel film, and that's what's going to drive me to it. But as I'm looking at these comments, I see some of these people are a little harsh. It's giving racist. Like, so, like, how do you deal with some of these comments? Because first of all, just from the trailer, I know that this is going to be something that the people are going to love. But of course, you have this racism going on.
You know, I don't. I don't deal with it, you know? Yeah, I really don't. You know, I understand some people like to vent digitally.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I hope you feel better afterwards. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It really got much to do with me. It's kind of how I feel, you know?
Right.
Like,
Why do they think superheroes are supposed to be white?
you know, I mean, it's a tale as old as time, you know, and especially in the country that we're in, it's not new to me, you know, it's not new to any of us that are in this space and have a desire to do something, speak on something bigger, you know?
It's so interesting, too, because that's one side of the coin, but the other side of the coin is the creator of the character was getting a lot of backlash. I believe his name was
Michael Bendis.
Bendis, because he was a white man who created a black woman character. And they're saying, how could you create a black woman character and not get any input from a black woman? So then he creates a character and he's getting backlash for that. Then you got the racists on the other side, you know what I mean?
But I think the input would be you, no?
Hey, you know, we also had Eve Ewing who came out, and she, a black woman who created some more comics as well. And of course, in the series, our head writer, Chinaka Hodge, black woman from Oakland with strong family ties to Chicago. So as far as the series goes, we absolutely have black women where it matters. Our directors are black female women from Chicago. So yeah.
It's representation for sure.
Exactly. In the way that, you know, really does mean something. Because it's one thing to have me in front of the camera. It's a whole other thing to have genuine support for what is necessary for this to feel real and for people to actually feel like they can relate to it with having those same people behind the camera as well.
For sure.
Now, how about when it came to filming? I know some of these things look very, very difficult, but you've been, like I said, you've been already in this Marvel world. So when it comes to like training, like what does that look like for you? What does your diet look like? What do you have to change?
Oh man, I mean, you just got to take
you're already
real
in
good
shape,
care. Thank you.
Body is seed.
I'll take that. Thank you. You know, we try. But yeah, you really do have to take care of yourself. Like, the schedule is insane, but one thing I absolutely prioritize is sleep. Oh my gosh, you know, and the same thing goes for the diet as well. Like, you really do need to take care of yourself because you're giving so much of yourself when you get there. And at the end of the day, I'm playing a superhero, but I'm very much human, you know? And as is Riri. So yeah, shout out to them for making sure that we have the support that we need. Like, they will bring in a nutritionist to talk to you if you feel like you're not, you're not doing well in that area. They have PT on standby, much needed. I absolutely made use of that. Just random little things happen to you as you're trying to be this greater, larger than life person, like I had something like on the flat of my foot, like my toe bone kept getting jammed after a while. Just weird stuff
and that
happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, just making sure that you're checking in with yourself and doing what you need to.
What couldn't you give up? What was something that you was like, nah, I'm not giving up this?
Sleep. Sleep. Oh my gosh. Catch me in a trailer. Yeah, we're wrapped. I'm gone. I'm sleeping.
That's hilarious.
Get your beauty
Oh my
rest.
God.
That's why you're so pretty.
Absolutely.
Not only is Riri out here, physically fighting crime, you know what I mean? She's a genius. She's a young kid who's going to MIT, you know what I mean? So we have that intelligent representation of a black woman in this as well. But that's, similar to you in real life. You got your degree from Cornell. You know what I mean? You went out here and got some degrees and things of that nature.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, so talk about just the importance and also how you can relate to the college aspect of the character Riri.
Yeah, I think the college thing is really what drew me in. That was what made it easiest to connect with the character, because at that time I had just graduated. I was like, oh, I know that story. Like very much true to life, because I obviously love acting and that's what I wanted to do. I had no idea how that would happen, especially since I wasn't in college for acting. I was doing something totally different. I came in for policy analysis and management and got a degree. Literally, like I got my degree at the end of the day in social and personality development, human development, concentration in inequality studies. And I really wanted to learn more. Like I had other things that I wanted to know more about, and I decided ultimately to give that some time. I gave 4 years to acting in high school. I was like, okay, let me give the next 4 years to seeing what is behind this interest of mine. And I'm really glad that I did that. I came up with acting teachers who said that life experience is acting experience. And so I didn't feel like shame or nervous about stepping away for a minute. I was like, if it's gonna happen for me, if it's really gonna happen, it'll happen somehow, no matter what I'm doing. And so I think to see this girl who has all these big ideas and whose family circumstances have led her to answer the call, like to see that there's a need in her community, that there's a need for her personally, and she's not waiting for anyone else to do it. She's just gonna go do it. I get that feeling like there's something in you that you just have to answer. You just have to figure out. And of course, her figuring it out leads to an otherworldly experience, quite literally. But yeah.
Y'all mentioned college. I've read somewhere that you're a Delta.
Big Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated.
Right. How was the pledging? Was the pledging process kind of like, does that remind you of work?
Ironheart. Oh my gosh. I think a lot of Deltas are superheroes for real. I mean, Miss Shirley Chisholm, that was my first memory of, this person is a Delta. No idea what that is, but she was. And I'm like, oh my God, iconic, and the list, it will go on. We will be here all day. Even one of the first black women on Broadway was a Delta.
Wow.
Miss Anjanou Ellis Taylor, a Delta. When I did If Beale Street Could Talk, I would never forget, like in between takes, sitting down with her and Coleman Domingo and just hearing them talk about their experiences, hearing them talk about the craft, and her especially, she just blew my mind. And I was curious about it. I'm also a first generation college student, so I didn't have any examples. And just hearing her talk about her advocacy and her time at university and how much it's meant to her. There were Deltas on my campus at the time too. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what I'm doing out here with this college thing. I'm hoping that I'm doing things right, but it feels like if I go that direction, I'll be one step closer to being the type of woman that I want to be,
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And we know that you originally auditioned for Black Panther, right? And you didn't get that part. And then you ended up coming back. That's like just shows your resilience and how that you're meant to be in the States.
Amen. Literally.
Were you like shocked when you got the call for
Absolutely.
where were you? What was the...
Oh man, this was during the pandemic. So 2020, I was like trapped in LA. Oh my gosh. I went out there to like take some meetings. Okay, I just graduated. Like, I'm going to be an actor. And then boom, everything shut down. So I was like stranded out there for the first 3 months. You know, people were saying like, don't get on a plane, you're going to bleed from your eyes. Like, you know, it was that part.
Crazy,
It was that part of the
remember.
pandemic. So I didn't end up leaving there maybe until around May or so. And my family was in Delaware at the time, so I went back there with them. And I want to say maybe a month later, I got the call from Marvel about Ironheart and Wakanda Forever.
What's so dope also about this project coming out, this project is the first thing we're seeing from Ryan Coogler right after all success with Sinners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you working with Ryan,
dope.
how was that? And also Chadwick as well. 'Cause I know you had some time where you might have had some lessons that you might have learned from him.
Yeah, I was able to meet him just once. And I think, and that was also the first time I met Ryan. Yeah, that was the first time I met Ryan and Chadwick. And oh my gosh, I mean, just awe. Like I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. Like they're titans, you know, and you walk in a room with them and you feel it, but you also feel this sense of grounding and calm and zero pressure. Even though I was nervous as all hell. Oh my gosh. And so I think to get to work with him as a producer on Judas and then as a director was just incredible. And to hear that he had the desire to continue to be a part of it. When they gave me that phone call in 2020, it was very clear that he was going to be involved in the process throughout. That this was a character he was excited about and that he really wanted to see come to life. And his excitement made me excited, you know? He had ideas for Riri and Wakanda Forever. Honestly, most of which still came to pass. But I think his vision really helped shape the character for me. Like that was a lot. I want to say like the way that he spoke about the character was really kind of what I anchored her in, you know, to begin. Of course, you would get more information once we go away from Wakanda Forever and we get into the series. Now we got 6 scripts, you know, we're getting so much more detailed information, and Chinaka is a phenomenal writer. Actually, I think they came up together in Oakland.
Really?
USC, yeah, I want to say. So yeah, word. So just fabulous. Just a fabulous, so smart, so dope, so black, and very thoughtful in the writing. And I just think that was the perfect coupling.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
To make her real.
You got beef with old people. And this is after you went on a BET Awards stage and said, and call older people ancestors.
Hey, you know, all praise and
You said
respect.
the ancestors. You and
You talking about
We
people born in the
respect
80s calling them
them.
ancestors.
So I know you got a lot of hate. What's up?
But, you know,
Speak your piece, gangsta.
listen, okay.
Why would you do that?
Listen, I'm coming up out of Wakanda. The ancestral plane is sacred. Okay? That is a sacred space. I don't play about it.
I do want to hear about your BET weekend experience, though. Any cool stories that you can share with
Oh
us?
my gosh. I mean, where do I start? There's like being in the carpet line with Sierra and Keke Palmer, and you get inside and you see that phenomenal 106 in Park anniversary blowout with all of these artists. T.I., oh my God. I love T.I., and for him to start the
He's
show
an
like
ancestor
that.
as well.
You know, I'm just stop speaking on it. How about I love y'all. I love
We
y'all.
love you too. We appreciate you taking the time. We want
yeah.
everybody to watch Ironheart
That's right.
on Disney Plus when it drops, and the date is
June 24th.
okay. We'll be watching, man. Miss Dominique
I'm sorry, but I
Thorne.
got to ask you your Caribbean place order before we let you go. When you in a Caribbean spot, what's your order?
Okay, well, I'm
you're
Trini.
Trini, yeah.
So we're getting a bus up or Dalpree with bhaji, pumpkin, what else? Bodhi, I don't eat meat, and maybe some curry shrimp.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Only thing I
yeah.
recognize in that order was curry shrimp.
She need a shandy, too. A shandy on the side to
correct.
wash
You
it
already
down.
know. You know the vibes.
Dominique
So good to talk
Thorne
to y'all.
hanging out with us, man. Morning Hustle Show. We
Yes.
appreciate you. Congratulations.
Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We are the Morning Hustle.